Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. Am I visible, audible? And let me share my screen also if that is also visible to you. Please use chat. Hi Dilpreet, I can see your comment. Okay, audio, video, all good? Amazing. Yes. One simple rule for the live streaming is that keep liking, keep chatting, and keep my energy maintained. More and more value will come to you. Thank you, Dilpreet. Thank you, Oved. Ayub. LWJKT, okay. Nazir, Omar, John, Jack, okay. Naeem, okay. Naeem is the name. Fine. So today what we are going to learn, we will be learning about date functions. And date functions, why I chose this? Because date functions are pretty simple, but many people don't know the basics of the dates. And dates are something which you can't ignore. Like it is there in every part of your work life. Whichever industry, whichever domain you pick, you are dealing with dates. Because all the transactions involve dates. Without dates, there are like no transactions possible or they are incomplete. So that's why I chose this topic. And we will start with very, very basics. I have planned some things for you. Let's get started. So first thing is like you need to know how to enter dates. Now, let's say if something is happening today, okay, like one of my friend, like he had a baby today, and let's say he was typing that date for some reason in the Excel. How would he type that date? Okay, so there are multiple ways to do it, but every way may not be correct from Excel perspective. From your perspective, you may be correct, but from the Excel perspective, it understands only few ways. Okay, like if I'm asking, uh, we need to type 28th of January 2026. How do you type? Because I should type 28 first, or 1 first, or 26 first. There are three parts of every date, right? So that's the challenge. So whenever you come across the today's situation, the current situation, what you need to do is you can use a shortcut. The shortcut name is control semicolon. So control key and the semicolon, it will generate this today's date as per your system. It will not always generate today's date. It will generate the current date of your system. If that is wrong, it will give you wrong today's date. So control and semicolon, this is what we need to write. Control, and this is the semicolon sign. I hope all of you understand that part. So that's the shortcut part. There is one more way to write the date for the today, and it is based on a function. What is that function? Every function starts with equal sign. So function name is today. Open and close the bracket. Nothing else is required with between the parentheses. Okay. Equal, today sign, open and close. That's it. And whenever you press enter, this will also give you current date. Okay. Now, what do you feel? What is the difference between the two? Which one would you use from today onwards whenever you need to type today's date? There's a difference between the two. What is that difference? I want it from you guys. Okay. Which situation, which method to use, the shortcut method or the function method? Anyone who can respond to me in the chat that which is doing what? Shortcut is easier, right? But shortcut cannot be used always. Function requires more time, but that also cannot be used always. So the reason is that if you are looking for something dynamic, let's say if I close this particular file and open it tomorrow, the function will change it to 29th of Jan. The function is always dynamic. It is at as per that moment. It will give you date as per that moment. And the shortcut, it is At the time of execution, whenever you use that shortcut, it is capturing that particular date. Now think of the situations like I mentioned that one of my friend had a baby today, and if we need to type his or her birth date, because I don't know what is the gender as of now, if we need to type the birth date, it cannot change. So we cannot use today function for a birth date, for a joining date, for a hiring date, leaving date, resignation date, okay, date of leave. These are all transactional values. They cannot change. So you need to use control shortcut because that will not change. It will retain. Okay. So this will be used in a dynamic situation. If you are calculating an age, maybe this will be helpful because we want to calculate age as of today. Tomorrow, the age will be different. After a month, the age will be different. So in that situation, the endpoint can be considered as this point. Okay. This will remain static. So that's the first difference between entering a date based on two different methods. Now, another angle is that we are not working only with the today's date. We may be working with all the kind of dates in the future, in the past. Then how should I enter it? So for that situation, the confusion is, let's say if we are talking about 1/7, then 1/7/2026. Okay. What should I type first? That I don't know. And which portion of this 1 and 7 is month or the day? I don't know. If I see this date like this. So to avoid that confusion, what you need to do, you need to type, like if I am typing 1st of July, so I will type 1 JUL. So when I type JUL, there is no confusion at all, right? And then I can press enter. And that's my 1st of July. But if I'm typing 7th and Jan, then it gives me a different result. Look at the result now. 7/1 and 1/7. People can easily get confused out of these two. But when you mention the month name yourself in the shortest format, like three characters of the month name, then there is no confusion to Excel. So this is how you need to type your dates. Now you may be thinking that you did not mention the year. Maybe it is not belonging to 2026. So whenever you don't mention it, Excel will assume that you are talking about the current year because in that scenario only, you will not mention it. If it is some other year, then obviously it is required to be mentioned. So if I have to type it for a particular different period, like 15th of October, but it should belong to something like 85, then it will consider that year, 1985. 4th of November and 19, then it will consider the nearest 2019. So that is how you can type any kind of date now. So talking about today's date, that's the date. These are the two methods. If it is anything other than today, then these are the methods. Okay. Now, so after this is done, then there is very, very important concept. Like if you have downloaded the Excel file, open it. And if you have not got the Excel file, go to the description, or maybe my team member can mention it in the chat, the link to download the file. There will be a simple form, your name and email address. And then after that, you will be able to download. So once you are able to download, I want you to type something in this column B. What is that something? I want you to type a numeric number, like number 1. When I type number 1 and press enter in column B, what happens? It gives me a date. And when I type number 1 somewhere here randomly, it doesn't give me a date. Okay. Now, if I change this number 1 to something like 31, then also it gives me a date. If I type something like 366, then also it is giving me a date. If I type something like 45, 999, then also it is giving me a date. So are you able to are you able to understand what is happening? It means that dates are not dates. Dates are all numbers. And how will you get to know? Currently, column B is formatted as a date. So whatever number you will type, it will try to convert the corresponding date for it. So what happened that Excel was invented in, I think, late 70s or early 80s. So they took care of that century. Okay. They took care of the 20th century, and the date Excel. Excel started its date counting from 1st of Jan 1900. So that's why when I typed 1, it gave me the first date based on which it is starting the counter. When I gave 31, it gave me 31st of Jan 1900. When I gave 366, because 1900 was a leap year, so that's why 366 days are there. So it gave me the end of that year. And when I typed a random number like 44,999 or 45,000, whatever was the number, then what is this date representing? That 45,999 days have passed starting from that current date. So all the dates are numbers, and every single increment of 1 means we are moving to the next day. I hope that is clear to you. What I'm saying, that this date I typed, right? Or all these dates I typed. If I select these dates and if I click on this comma formatting, which is essentially a number formatting, right? When I click on this comma, it will tell you that 31,335 days have been passed from the beginning of the calendar, which Excel is keeping. So this means 46,204 days have passed from that date. So all the dates are just looking like dates. In the back end, they are all numbers. That is very, very important understanding, because once you understand that dates are numbers, you will open up a lot of possibilities. They can be we can take the difference between them because they are numbers. We can add something to them. Like there is no function for yesterday. We have function for today, but there is no function for yesterday. How can I get yesterday? It is a number, right? Essentially, it is a number. I can say equal this day minus 1. I can reduce 1 day out of it, and that can give me yesterday. If I want tomorrow, I can say equal this day plus 1, and that will give me tomorrow. So I can generate a lot of variety of dates as per my requirement based on the dates once I understand that these are numbers. Are you getting, guys? And when they are not numbers, then only all the problems starts. Then only all the problems you will start facing, because your functions will not work, your formattings will not work if they are not numbers. Clear? Type in the chat if you have understood so far. Whatever we have discussed so far, if you have understood, type U in the chat. And how many people are currently watching? Uh, we have, I think, 120 people watching, but there are only 18 likes. Now you know what to do. Increase the likes, increase the activity in the chat so that other people can get to know about our channel, and I will be motivated to bring these live sessions more and more. If there's no activity, then obviously I will lose my motivation someday, right? Can you show us again how to convert the column F into numbers? It's just a number formatting. Select the dates. If you want to see whether they are numbers or not, you can click on this comma formatting. I just clicked on comma formatting, which represents numbers, and it gave me a numeric value behind them. Okay. Now, Similarly, there is a concept of time. Now, what is time? Date means 24 hours. One day means 24 hours. Okay. So there is a function for time. There is a shortcut for time. If you want time, then it is control shift semicolon. Control semicolon was for the day, current day. Control shift semicolon is for current time. Control shift semicolon. And here the function is now equal now open and close. This function gives you the current date and the time. And it is dynamic. It keeps on changing. Now let us understand. Currently, as per my time in Dubai, it is 8:15 p.m. Okay. So roughly how many hours I have passed in the day? It is roughly 12 plus 8, 20 hours. So 20 out of 24 are done. So when I click on the number behind this time, it is 0.84. That means 84% of the day is already gone. So all the times or timestamps are all numbers. That is representing a fraction out of the 24 hours, how much you have completed. So that number represents. Okay. Here, if I put it in the comma formatting, so because there is a date associated here, the current date and the current time function delivers both of them. So when I put comma, what I will be getting? The date factor, 46,050 days have passed starting from 1st of Jan 1900 plus 84, 0.84. 0.84 represents the time. As soon as this 0.84 will reach to 0.9999, you will complete the day and the number will become 46051. Okay, and this timer after the decimal will restart. So dates and numbers, they're all the dates are numbers as well as the time is also a number. Now Pratik is saying you explain how data automatically sync across multiple sheets. For example, January sheet should carry forward to Feb through December if new data is added in. Pratik, I think that question is a little bit different, and we are deviating from the dates. Okay, so maybe we'll take it some other time, but let's focus only related to the date functions. Any other questions which you are coming, which you are having in your mind related to date functions? Let us focus on that part. Otherwise, we will need the whole night and the whole day. Okay, good. Let's go to the next part. Now, since we have understood the dates, many times you need to acquire or you need to extract certain components of the date. Okay. So if this is the date and these are the dates which you are currently handling, okay, and I need to know the month out of the date, then only one function can give you if I need to know the month name of the date. Like this is 28/1/2026. That means January is the month. So what is that function? The function is, because date is a number, this is a number, right? The function which can help us to convert a date into its name, different components of the name, is text function, because we need to convert from the numeric part to the text part. Okay. Now it is asking for a value. What is that value? The value is nothing but a date, because we need to extract it from this date. Then it is asking the format. Now format is a text part, and that will decide the result. And any text, if you insert in a function, last time also we discussed that it needs to be wrapped in the double inverted commas. So double inverted commas, and then I can type M. M stands for month, and close the bracket, close the double quotes, and close the bracket also. So what I have mentioned, if you see over here, text of my date and then M. And when I press enter, you can see the result. I will keep it in the center. The result is first month, second month, third month, fourth month, like this. And there are 12 months. Now, this is giving the numeric part, but in a text format. If you try to select them, you can see only count is possible. They are not addable because text function gives all the results in the text format. Now, you may be thinking that what is the use of this? So it is not yet interesting, but as soon as you start changing this code from M to, let's say, 2M, look at the results. How does it change? When I press 2Ms, the result is now uniform in two digits. The result is now uniform in two digits. Now that is better for sorting purpose. Because if it is only single digit, look at this. When I go for a sorting, look at the sorting order. Jan, October, November, December, then Feb. So that is not the order which we are expecting. So that's why whenever any text, any number looking text is there, it's better to keep that uniform as per the length of the maximum value so that they are correctly sorted. Now, if I look at the numbers, look at this, the series is proper. Okay. Now, if I change it to 3Ms, the result is short name of the month. Jan, Feb, March, and like that going until December. So whenever you are looking for the name from a date, name of the month from a date, you need to use text function, date portion, and the formatting code. And another interesting fact is that if I make it 4Ms, then it will become full name of the month. Very simple formula, but maybe many people don't know about it, and that's why their dates are like that is not possible to display the dates as you wish. Now, same component, I can write the same formula again for the day. And here, how does it work? It's text function. Value is again, I'm taking from here. And in the double quotes, this time I will be putting D's. Single D will give me the day part in text format. Double D gives me two digits, two characters, numeric format. Same thing. Okay. Triple D gives me the day name, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, today is Wednesday. Okay. That kind of names it will give. So you can see for 28th of Jan, today we have Wednesday, at least for the UA part, at least. Okay. I think it's Wednesday now for everywhere. Okay. So Wednesday is there. And if you put 4Ds, that will give you the full name of the day. Same concept is followed over here. Text of date. And this time the unit which we are looking for is Y. So Y will give you might be thinking it should give 6. No, we never use year like 6. We always say 26 or 16 because 6 is confusing. So we use year either in 2-digit format or in 4-digit format. So whether you type single Y or double Y, the result will still be same. And if you type like 3 Ys, the result will be the full year, 4 digits of the year, because that's how we use it. So 4 Ys or 3 Ys, the result will still be same. So now you know that there are three characters, M, D, and Y. These are the formatting characters which can be used inside the brackets. And it's totally up to you how many times you want to use that character. Accordingly, the result will change slightly. And that will define your formatting. And it is totally up to you. It is not only that we can take care of month and year and day separately. We can combine the formatting code also. Like say, when I was in school in India, we used to type the date like 28.01.2026. That's how we were writing the dates. Now, in Excel, if you type like that, Excel doesn't consider it as a date. But what I can do, I can go to the formula, and in these double quotes, what I can type, I can type dd dot mm dot yyyy. I've just noticed the pattern in my required formatting, and I've kept that. When you press enter, look at your results. So between the double quotes, you can combine all the factors. If let's say someone wants, like you might see a long format here somewhere in the dates, you see long date. Let's say I want to type something like uh, Saturday, or let's talk about today, Wednesday, comma, 28 Jan and 2026. That's how I want it to be written or to be displayed. So what I will do, I will go over here. So first for the three digits, this day part, I will type DDD, then comma, then after that what it is being showed here, it is the day part. So I will type D, maybe two Ds, because 29 doesn't tell us whether it will be single digit or double digit. So let's keep it two digits. After that, Jan. Jan will require what? Three letters. So M from the month. And then year, Y. And that gives me my required formatting like this. So now it's totally up to you in your hand how your date should be displayed. You know the entry. Once the date is entered correctly, then it can be displayed in different manners. And it is not necessary that you can only do it using a formula. You can take any date. Let's go back on the first day. You can take any date and then you can press Control 1. That is the shortcut for the formatting. Then come back in the date. These are the pre-built formats which you may want or you may not want. Depending on your country, it might differ a little bit. This list might differ a little bit. But if you go to custom, this is the section where you can design your own display formats. Whatever I was mentioning earlier to display the dates, you can type it over here. There's a list which is already there, but if you're not satisfied, you can always type DDD, comma, D dash MMM dash YY. And this is how the result will be displayed. Press enter, that is executed also. But to type this format, first you need to understand what happens with what character and what frequency of that character will decide what output. That you need to understand first. Will this work even if I set the first column to MMDDYY? See, MMDDYY doesn't matter. If your dates are properly entered, and what is the meaning of proper? Proper means if I change this to comma formatting, they should be numbers. Okay. So if your dates are numbers in the backend and the entry is already done properly, then it doesn't matter what is their current format because you can display it in other formats. All the other formats are possible. Okay. You can display it easily in the other formats. Is this clear, guys? Text function from date perspective. Is that clear? I hope now you have got some doubts cleared, which you may be having because of dates and date related problems. Right? Yeah. After this is clear, like how to enter, how to format, and how to extract different parts of the dates, then we can talk about some other functions. Okay. Then we can talk about some other functions. The pace is fine. Now let's talk about this sheet. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, can you do that part? I hope you know how to subscribe. Or should I demonstrate? Not only subscribe, you need to also click on that notification icon, the bell icon, so that you can get the notifications again and again. Currently, my team is putting efforts to remind you through emails and WhatsApps, but we are not going to do that going forward because it's time taking and like priority wise, that is least of our priority. Okay. So maybe you can subscribe and then it will be notified to you next time. Again, the likes are very, very important to keep the momentum of our team and myself going. So currently I can see 150 people are roughly watching, 139, and likes are only 57, one third roughly, 40%. So hit the like button and let's get started with the remaining part of the session. So till now we were talking about the dates and we extracted using text function some text results or some text components of the dates. Now, this time what we will be doing, we will be extracting something related to dates, but in numeric form. So let's say you want the year out of a date. You want the year out of a date, then what will be the formula? So for the year, it's a very simple formula. Whatever you want, the function is also similar to that. That year function can be used. Serial number is nothing but your date because dates are serials or serial numbers or the values. So we can select it from there and press enter. So that is extracting the year part. So all these dates were falling in 2026. That's why year is common, year of that particular date. Now, if I am looking for the month, the function is month over here. That is also looking for the serial number. What it will give? Anyone? It will give the numeric part. It will give the numeric part. Wasif, I don't use YouTube a lot. Very good. Distraction free. But sometimes for learning purpose, we might use. So it is there next to like any, like when you click on subscribe at the bottom of the video, there is a subscribe button. Next to that, you will find the bell icon. Okay. So that can be used. Okay. So month function gives the numeric part of the month. Look at this. This here, if I keep it single M, that also gives me same result. And here also it is the same result, but there is a big difference. When I select these cells, look at this. I can do sum, I can do count, I can do average. What does it mean? They are all numbers. But in this case, I can only do counting. That means they are text. So whenever you are looking for a numeric result, then go for month function or year function or the day function. Day is also similar. We can say day and then take the date and it gives me the date component of the date, the day component of the date. So these are the three main parts. And if you have these three parts, you can always create your date. Even if you don't have your date, you can always recreate your date. Like here, look at this date function. Imagine that this was not given to me and I was only having these three values. So I can recreate my date. Let me cut this and start doing it over here. There is a function known as date and it can generate your date if you give these three parts. So when I press the bracket, open bracket, it is asking these three components of the date. Where is the year? Year is this, comma, month. Month is this one, comma, day. And day is this one. So you have to follow this order and press enter. You will get the date. you can get your date again. So that was date function. So these are three, four simple functions which you will come across again and again. You will be required to use them many times. Now let's go to some other functions which may not be that frequent, but they are very, very important also. Okay. Like I want to consider, I want to like count which day of the week it is. If we talk about today, which is Wednesday, which day of the week it is out of the 7 days. So here, I'm not talking about the name of the days. So there's a function known as weekday. And this function says, give me the date. So here is the date. Okay. But there's a problem. In Dubai or in US or in UK, the week from the office perspective starts on Monday. In Saudi Arabia, it starts on Sunday. So today is the third day or the fourth day. Who decides? It can be different for different people. And that's why the second argument will be required. And when I press comma, it will give you a list of possibilities. And you can select it from that. You can select it from that. Like my week starts from Sunday or it is Monday. There can be multiple options for Monday. Like here, this one will give you 0 for Monday. Maybe I want to start Monday as the 0 day of the week and it will go up to 6th day. So total 7 days are there, but counting starts from 0 to 6. Here it is 1 to 7. Here Sunday it is starting and then 1 to 7. So like that, there can be multiple options for you. Okay, do not get confused. Start preferring from the top of the list. Okay, start going from the top of the list. Let's say if I'm following the current week system, which is in UAE, Dubai, uh, Monday becomes first day. So I will use this one, serial number 2. When I double click, that's 2. And if I press enter, Wednesday is the third day of the week. I hope that's clear. This is the third day of the week. But if I go for not 2, but 1, then Wednesday is the fourth day of the week. That's the system which is being followed in KSA, Saudi Arabia. Clear? So that starting point you need to specify. Now, if you don't specify, then also it is okay, because whenever you are writing a formula and if you see something in these square brackets, what is the square bracket? It is something like these kind of brackets. Okay, that is square bracket, and these are normal brackets. So whenever you see something in your formula required in these square brackets, that means it is not essential to type. If you type it, it will be like the formula is very, very specified that you want it in a particular way. But if you don't type it, then it will assume some default settings based on your Excel installation. Which country settings or which area settings are being implemented, it will take it from there. So I could have got some result from here just typing A3, nothing else. Press enter and it will give me something based on my Excel installation. But I don't know what is my Excel setting. So it's better to be specific. It's better to be specific rather than worrying about what settings we are using. So here I could have used 2 and now there is no confusion over the results. Clear? So weekday is always part of the week, 7 days or 0 to 6. These are the possibilities of the results. And depending on which argument you have selected, which type of week you have selected, when does it start, the result will be given to you in numeric form. Okay. How does it help? It can help you to identify the weekends. That anything which is 6 or 7, that's my weekend. Maybe Saturday is also working. Anything which is 7, that's my weekend. So if my weekday is 7, then it is a weekend. else it is my weekday. So that can help you to decide so many logics depending on your business scenario. Same goes for week number also. Week number is, the function name is week num, short for week number. It is also asking serial number, that's my date, comma, return type. Again, it is saying when does your week starts, because week number can change based on that. Week number can change based on that. Okay, so what does it give? How many weeks in the year are there? Based on this date is in which week of the year. That's the result. So let's say if I go for Monday starting and press enter. So that's my week number. So 28th Jan is actually the 5th week of this year. It's falling in the 5th week of this year. Clear? So you can get maximum up to 53, I guess, because 52 weeks are there complete and maybe one here and there because of additional remaining days. So 52, 53 possibilities are there in the week number. So these were all simple functions. You just need to understand the argument. That second argument represents when does it start. This is date function. Now let me minimize or squeeze them a little bit and go back. This I can hide. Now let's say I want to calculate the last date of the month. That's a little bit tricky. And maybe finance people generally knows the result for that, the formula for that. But can you tell me how to calculate last date based on any date? If this is 4th Feb, what I want here, I want 28th Feb. If this is 28th Jan, what I want, 31st of Jan. So there is a ready-made function here. The ready-made function is EO month. How do we say it? End of month. So this function gives you end of the month. How do you need to use it? First, it is asking for your current date, whatever is the date. So let's say this is the date which I am referring to. And based on that date, I want to calculate the month end. Then second argument is also very important, the months. What you need to put in the months? You need to put 0 and press enter. Now you can see the results over here, whether it is 1st of Jan, whether it is 28th of Jan, my result is still same month end. If it is 7th of March, it is 31st March. So I don't need to tell what was the maximum date in that month, because that is tricky to tell, to write the formula using if and so many other logics. So it is ready-made function EO month, and that can do the job based on any date which you give. Based on any date. Very good, Dilpreet. Dilpreet is asking, why 0? Why 0? 0 represents your current month. Let's say, based on this 28th of Jan, you want to calculate the month end, but not current month end. Maybe next month end. So then in place of 0, you will type 1 and it will start giving you 1 month forward. Month end, but 1 month forward. You can go -1 also, and that will take you to previous month end. The date corresponding to the previous month end or future month ends. 1 -1 can be changed to any number. You can go maybe 5 months back. What was the month end? It was 31st of August 2025. Okay. Very important function, especially people who are into reporting and who are into finance, they use this a lot. Let's say I am a very small company, right? We are a very small company. we are a supplier to a very big company and they have particular terms. So we raise an invoice today. We raise an invoice today, but they say that we will pay after 30 days, but not on any date. We will always use the month end of that date, month end of that month. So you will get the money on 28th of Feb, maybe 31st of March. So that's how they calculate that date. The systems are using that kind of format. End of month, very important function. End of month. So 0 is for current month. Now you tell me the possibility to write a formula over here to give me the end of the, start of the month. If it is 28th Jan, I want 1st of Jan. What can I write over here? What can I write over here? So Tammy is saying that in accounting month, my month ends on 15th. So I want that date. So Tammy, what you can do, you can go for the year and month. You can extract them. You know how to extract. And you can go for the date. Let me unhide it. You can go for your date. So here, year is coming from there. You can write a formula also. Month is also coming from there. But this part, day part, you can, rather than using that, you can say 15 always. And it will give you 15th of that particular month, whichever it is. Okay, 15th of that particular month can help you to decide a particular date which you want to refer in any month. That was one way. Anyways, let's come back to the same question. How to get the first date of a month? So we have seen that EO month based on a date can give you current month, can give you previous month end, right? But I'm not looking for previous month end. What I'm looking for the starting of this month itself. So all I need to do is, this is a date and I want the next day. So all I need to do is +1. Whatever is the date coming based on -1, which is previous month end, if I add one more day to that, it will give me the first date of that month, which we are worried about, right? Ramki, December 11. Thanks for that formula. Absolutely correct. Okay. That's how you calculate the first date of the month or the last date of the month based on any days. So let me hide these things a little bit. Let me hide these things a little bit. And what would be the formula for year start and year end? Year start and year end. How can you do it? How can you do it? That's your homework. You can think on it and mention it in the comment once you are able to do it. And please make sure that you don't use ChatGPT or you don't use any help, because then we lose the purpose of thinking. Okay. These are very, very simple things. I want you to comment the year start formula and the year end formula in the chat after we complete the session. Note it down so that you don't forget it. Okay. These will be very simple. You have all the possible raw material which you might need to calculate it. Everything is here. But try to do it only from this single date. Don't use the parts which you have generated just now. Don't use these parts. If you need these parts, write it in the formula itself. Okay. Now let me go to the another important aspect that's more important. So I will come back over here. Fixed dates. Now you have column B and column A. Visually both are looking same. What do you think? Are they same? Are they exactly same? Are they exactly same? Column A and column B. One way to check that part is, look at this. If I type, let's say I insert one column over here, and if I type equal this cell equal that cell. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see whether A3 is equal to B3 or not. And when I press enter, it gives me false because they are not same. Now, why they are not same? Let's check this. Comma formatting, they are proper dates, I guess. So let's undo. Let's check this. Comma formatting, nothing happens. That means they are not dates, they are text. Clear? They are text. So when you are saying a number equals to a text, it doesn't matter it looks same or not, it is not exactly same. The value is not exactly same. Okay? Now you might have got dates like this from your ERP systems. And some systems are very, very old also. So you can't control the output a lot. So imagine that this is coming from your ERP. This is coming from your ERP. And now you need to fix it in this manner. Otherwise, you will not be able to use all these functions. They will be useless. Do you agree or not? How many people face this situation very, very frequently? The dates are coming, you're trying to format them, you're trying to write functions over them, and they are not working at all. The reason is they are text. They are text. But how to fix it? I am not going to go and type one by one each one of them in a proper manner, the way we have learned how to enter the dates. So we need to make use of these things on its own. So I will tell you a trick over here. And here, this is not for a mixture. Okay. First of all, you need to see whether it is following the same like same pattern or not. Like here, there is a pattern that the first part is my day, the second portion is my month, and the third portion is my year. So that's the pattern. So first condition for this to work is you need to have a common pattern. It doesn't matter what pattern, but one single pattern should be there in the whole range, and then we will be able to fix it. Now let me show you the result, how we can fix it. So first, I will select this. I will select this range. Next, I will go to data. And you might have heard about this functionality of Excel, which is text to columns. Text to columns is the functionality. Many times you might have used it, but the purpose for which you have used it is to split a particular string into multiple parts. Okay, I will tell you one more uses of this text to columns. One more use of this text to columns is select the range which you want to modify, the date range. Then I am going for text to columns. It is asking for a delimiter. That is not important because we are not going to split it. So just move forward. Next. Then it is asking again delimiter. I'm saying nothing is required. Next. Now this screen is important. This screen, you need to define that what you are dealing with. So you can say that I am dealing with dates. Then also tell what kind of format is currently there in the original data. Now in this case, we can see the first portion is day, second portion is month, and third portion is year. So currently this is the format which is applicable. But if you feel that it is not the correct format as per my data, you can go to this drop down and select the other format. All the 6 possibilities are mentioned over here. So for the current case, this is looking fine. Then it is saying, where do you want the correct output to be presented. Currently, it is picking the same cell. So it will be replaced over here itself. So I'm okay with that. And all I need to do is finish. So when I click on finish, now whatever you see, look at this. Everything is available. They have become dates. So earlier they were text. Now all the dates have become, like all the text cells have become dates. And once they become dates, then go to formatting, decide your formatting that I want to see it in a particular manner like this, and all those things will be working for you. All the functions related to dates, they will be working for you. Is this clear? For how many of you this was new to? New trick? Type it in the chat. Normally, it's never too late to join. So I'm going to repeat it once more. Select the dates, whichever format it is. Let's say I select this part. Now, first identify, before implementing anything, first identify what is the format. So in this case, 28 is coming second, and then 1, 4, 11, 28 up to 31. And this is 26. So probably it is looking like this format, right? M, then D, then Y. Probably MDY format is coming, right? So first identify that part. After that, it's so simple. Select, go to data, text to columns, next, next, dates. Here I need to select MDY and finish. Now it is proper date. In this case, text to columns, next, next, date. This looks like YMD. So YMD, finish. Now it's a date. And once it becomes a date, how you can verify? First, the comma formatting looks good. After that, you format them, you write functions on them, all of them will be working for you. Clear? So that's how you fix the dates, and you can create short macros for these kind of things so that you can just click a button and then macro will do the job rather than you going through all these 4 or 5 clicks again and again, because you might be dealing with this many times. So that's why you can go for some kind of further automation also. But first you need to understand the normal process. If you have to do it normally, manually, then how you do it. After that, automation comes. So that's related to dates. Now, uh, let's talk about this part. How many of you are okay to go beyond 1 hour for this session? How many of you are okay to go beyond 1 hour? Because I think we are about to complete 1 hour already. Now, for that to happen, I need more likes. So go ahead, subscribe, like, put comments, and then I can go for maybe another 10-15 minutes. 2-3 hours also no issue. Amjad Siddiqui. Amjad, I think you're from KSA, right? Okay. Good. Good. Very good. So let's work on networking days. Okay. So imagine a scenario that you went on leave on 11th April. You went on leave from 11th of April and you are on leave until 30th of April. So how many days are there in between? So first you need to understand the calendar days. Now this is a number. This is also a number, right? If these are proper dates, both of them are number. So if we take the difference from a bigger number, like, like new number, minus the older number, that can give you the duration. That can give you the duration, 19 days. But do you think you were on leave for 19 days, 19 calendar days? If you went from 11th and you were there on leave until 30th, it is 20 days actually. Okay, but 30 minus 11 is 19 because the mathematical subtraction doesn't count the first portion, first date, starting point. So always remember that it is not a simple subtraction. If both the dates are included in your journey, in your leave like tenure, then you need to add plus 1 into this to maintain that part. Plus 1 is required or not required, depends on your situation, whether both the dates were included in your leave days or not. Okay, so 20. Now let's come to the other scenario. Now, if HR's manager deducts 20 days from your leave balance, then you will not be very happy. You will be saying there were so many weekends in between. Why are you counting those weekends? Okay. So in that situation, we will not take the normal difference. What we will be doing, we will be taking a formula that is known as net work days. But we will use the next one, net work days dot intl. You may be asking, what is the difference? INTL represents international. Okay, so it will allow you to modify your weekends. That's the only difference. Network days, there will be no option to specify your weekend type, whether you have Saturday, Sunday, whether you have Sunday, whether you have Friday as leave. Okay, you will not be able to change that part. So it's always better because INTL was created later. That's why they kept both of them because they don't know whether you have upgraded your Excel or not. So they kept both the functions. So network days dot international dot intl, that's what we are going to use. Now it is asking simple things. Start date. Where is my start date? That's my start date. Then it is asking for end date. So that's my end date. And rest of the things, if you see, they are in square brackets. That means they are optional. So I will stop my formula over here. And starting point and end point, nothing else. When I press enter, it is not giving me 20 days. It is giving me 14 days. It based on some default specification, it is deducting the weekends. So roughly 3 weeks you are away broadly. 3 weeks might be having 2 days each weekend. So 6 days it has deducted. And it is going as per your specified dates. It may be possible that sometimes you are not having the 3 full weekends, so it may deduct only 5, not 6. So it is going day by day. Okay. Now comes the interesting part that you planned your leaves based on certain holidays in between so that your leave balance is not affected much. So how to incorporate these also? So formula is still same. I will just drag it down, starting, ending, then comes the weekend part. Now weekend, you can decide what is the weekend which your company follows. So you can see 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday, Monday, Monday, Tuesday. You can select which one. So let's go for Saturday, Sunday. That's what I follow as of now. Effectively, our company doesn't follow it. So we don't have any weekend is our main business. Okay. But for normal Janta, it is Saturday, Sunday. So that's weekend decided. After that, it is saying, give me your holidays. Where are your holidays? The list of holidays in the date formats. So if I give this list, I've already named it something, okay? Or it is just A8 to A12. All the cells are covered. Now what it will do? It will reduce, it will reduce some more days. It will not reduce twice. So it was something on weekend and now I am not counting it in these holidays also. So the way it works is this is the number of days as excluding weekend. There were some weekdays which were falling on your holidays. So I need to reduce them. So it has found 3 more days which were holidays and which were weekdays. So it has reduced that balance. So that's how this function works. So if your process or if your company follows that kind of method, then you can use network days.intl. Okay. Network days dot intl. Very interesting function, especially for checking your own leave balance and for HR department. Very, very important function. That's the formula in T4, which is simple. We have not even mentioned weekend, but maybe we can mention which weekend we are following. So Saturday, Sunday, result will still be same, but excluding week holidays, we need to mention all the four parts. These two are important. These two are optional. But if you don't mention, then it will consider the default value from the system settings. So that's net working days. That's one kind of duration. Now there is one more duration can be useful, which can be useful in terms of HR department or your age and all. So let's say someone joins on this date. Let's say someone joins on this date. And today is this. What is the function? Control semicolon. That's what I'm calling today. In fact, let me type it something like today. That's the name which I want to give to this cell so that I don't need to worry about this cell B1 again and again. So I have the current date and I have this joining date. And I want to know how many years Davis Lee has completed in the organization. You can consider it as birth date also, so then it will give you age. Okay, you decide the scenario, but I will show you the formula which can be used for this. The formula is, and it will not come in the suggested formulas. The formula is date diff. Date diff. Many people call it dated if, but that's not the correct like pronunciation, in my opinion, because the formula is for calculating the duration or difference between the two dates. So that's why date diff is better in my opinion. But again, doesn't matter. Dated if or date diff, this is the function. And why you need to remember it? Because it doesn't come in the suggested list, but it is still working. Okay. So date diff, open bracket, what does it require? It requires your starting date. So that's my starting date. Then it requires your ending date. So that's my ending date, today function. Okay, not function, the name I have used from this cell. And then comes the third part, very, very important part, because this will decide what will be the result. The third part is actually the unit. In what form you want the difference between the two dates. So here I will mention double quote and then Y and close the double quote. That means I want the years between these two dates. And this function always gives you completed years. Incomplete things it will not give. When I press enter, it tells you that 22 years have passed from this person's joining until today. And you can drag it down and you can see the change. 2000 and currently we are having like 2026. But 25 years have been completed. After that, there might be some months, but this function only shows completed ones. Right? Whenever someone is asking your age, what do you say? You say the complete part, not the fractional part, right? I will say I don't know what is my age, but looks like 44 maybe. Yeah, 44. So I will say 44 or 43 I will say, not 44 because 44th is running. So 43 it will give. Clear? So that's how this function works. And the result is simple. I will copy this part in other cells also. Here, 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 and here. I will show you all the variations. So here, if you want completed months, how many months have been completed? So then you need to mention M and the result will be 270 months have been completed. If you are talking about how many days have been completed, you will simply mention D. So 8,235 days have been completed for Lee. Now, this becomes interesting over here. Okay. 22 years are done. But after that, how many days are completed? So that is the code for this. Why D? So it will give you the result based on the ending character, and it will ignore the completed starting character. Completed years it will ignore, and it will give you the completed days after the completed years. So look at this. 22 years and 199 days have passed from that joining date. 22 years and 199 days, that's you can use. If you want to talk about months, how many years and month? So 22 years, and here YM, so Y will ignore the completed years and M will be delivered to you. So 22 years and 6 days are done. 22 years and 6 months, sorry, months are complete, because it is ignoring the first part and it gives you only this part after the first part, after the completed years. Okay. Same way here, MD means what? What should be the result? Whatever number of months have been complete, 270 months have been complete, right? After 270 months, how many days we are? That is only 15. Because it is 13th, right? Currently we are sitting on 28th. So after the month was complete, there has been 15 days which have passed. So that's how this dated if function works, dated if function works. Only thing you need to worry about is last portion. Starting, ending, and last portion. And then you can easily calculate your required duration. You can easily calculate your required duration. Now there is one thing which I want you guys to work out. How can you get this kind of result? 22 years, 6 months, 15 days. That's the exact weight you need to tell, right? If someone needs to be very, very precise. So type the formula for that kind of result. You know how to get 22, you know how to get 6, you know how to get 15. It's just that you need to type all of them in one single formula. Can you explain the last four ones? So last four ones are simple. Okay. YD, it has two component, year and day. The last character is very important because that will give you the result. So you will get the results in terms of days. But what is the importance of the first character? Why? It will ignore the completed years out of the days. It will ignore the days equivalent to completed years. Okay. So you will be getting the remaining days. That's why. So these simple single characters, they always give completed things. And double characters in the format, they will give you remaining things after the years, after the years, after the months. So first letter means after what? After completed years, this. After completed years, this. But this will give D means days. This will give months. And here you will get the days, but after completed months. Okay. Shobna, recording will be going to be here. So you can like check this link again. Okay. Now one more function which we will talk about. Here, there is a function. So let's say you might have faced this situation again and again. You joined an organization. This was your hiring date. And maybe this is a probable scenario, or maybe this is also a probable scenario. that 6-month probation you get. And there is a date on which you will get confirmed if everything else is okay. What will be that date? If 18-month probation is there, what is that date on which you will get confirmed? So there is a function here. That function name is eDate. Now I don't know what is the, like, how do you say it, but expected date you can call it maybe, or end date you can call it. It's up to you. You can decide how you want to remember it. So eDate function, that's the function. And then it says, give me the starting date. That's my starting date. And then it says, I will give you the expected date. Just tell me the months. 18 months forward. Press enter. And it will give you exactly, like, because we can't calculate properly that how many, like, what will be the date. We know that it will be 11th only. But after 18 months, which month it will be, we don't know. So this will give you directly that month quickly. Starting date and then months. How many months you want to go forward. Or backward also you can go. You can say minus 18, it will give you 18 months back. Okay. So that's my confirmation date. Same way, let's say you gave a project to someone. It is not about probation anymore. That person said, I need 6 months. Many of you are in the advanced program, like Shobna is there in the advanced program, right? Uh, Dilpreet is there. Okay. 4 months duration, we generally say, right? What will be your ending date? Or 1 year validity, we say, right? 1 year validity for the people who join our boot camp, the first level of Power BI boot camp, right? So here, what formula you can write? You can say e date. Starting date is, this is the enrollment date. Then 1. Then 1. But it is not 1 month, it is year. And this function expects months. So what you need to do? Multiply it by 12. That will give you the number of months you need to move forward. And that will be your expiry for the program. Right? So if it is month, no need to do anything, just mention it in the second portion. If it is not month, try to translate it into months, maybe by dividing, maybe by multiplying. Okay, that's your probation or expected date or completion dates and all. Here, networking day is also similar because we were talking about, let's say someone got a project on this and he needs to complete it by this. He may be thinking in his mind 20 days are there, but not 20 days. If you talk about working days, only 14 days or 11 days are there only. So the work needs to be completed in 11 days. Otherwise, you will miss the deadline. So I am taking some scenarios, but you need to imagine other scenarios which you might be dealing with the same concepts. Like here, if we are having this report, and I just want that the date, the month should be mentioned over here. Okay. And mostly what people do, they will type 1st Jan 2026. And then here they will type 1st Feb 26. And then they will take this combined together and then they will drag it out like this. What can be done? Look at this. First date I type, and here I will type eDate function. Starting date is this. Forward it by 1 month. Starting date is the previous cell. Forwarded by 1 month. It gives me Feb 26. And now I can drag it like this. So currently my reporting starts on Jan 26. But let's say I am in like May and I want to give 6 months forward. because the management always requires 6 months numbers. So I will go over here and I will type 1st of May, enter. Automatically it got adjusted for the next 6 months, right? Automatically it got adjusted for next 6 months. If I am in, let's say, December, so I will mention here 12. Everything else is going forward for next 6 months. So there are so many possibilities. All the date functions are simple. You just need to understand which scenario can help you, like which function can help you in which scenario. And those who are in our community, or like put it in the chat here later on, whatever scenario you are like having or facing the challenges, put it over there. Maybe my team will reply and which function can be used in what scenario. Okay. And very soon we will be going to launch an Excel learning program also. So maybe you can join that to discuss these things in more with more proximity with the trainer. Okay. So this is all we have for the day. I think it's 1 hour, 20 minutes. How was your experience for the day? Shall we do these sessions uh, more and more? Mention what is the topic which is bothering you in Excel. Put it in the chat. Which topic of Excel bothers you a lot? And maybe we will plan something around that topic. Tammy, thank you. Prasad, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. But what topic is bothering you? Because what we have realized is that people spend more time with Excel in at any workplace, any department, any industry. Okay, so we need to keep improving this, otherwise we are wasting or we are moving very slow, right? Dates are always an issue. Can we have a session on financial modeling? I'm not an expert on the finance side. I used to be a financial analyst, but then I forgot. So I may not have a lot of understanding on financial concepts. Okay, formula wise, I might be knowing, but conceptual knowledge of the subject, like I'm not a subject matter expert. If functions and all, okay, that's fine. Charts, okay, data modeling and power pivots, more practice in macros, Grace, and pivot tables. Okay, keep mentioning, guys, keep mentioning more things, and maybe we will pick something out of this list. And there are a lot of videos over here, guys. If you see, there are a lot of videos on the channel, roughly 800, 900 videos are there. So try to visit the channel more and more, search something, and maybe you will get a lot of things over there. There are so many playlists which are there on the channel. Go through them. Okay. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, pivot table. Okay. Great. Amazing. Okay, guys, that's it for the day. I hope it was useful and looking forward to see you maybe sometime next week, or maybe we don't know, but we'll plan something. Take care. Bye bye.